Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 9, episode 3, and today we're doing something that's been quite rare over the last few seasons. We're playing a double-header from the two biggest competitions, with Arsenal at home in the Premier League and then AC Milan at home in the Champions League. That's right, we've had a decent start to the season, all things considered. Although there have been some disappointments, we're going to have a quick look at the results since the last episode and then get straight into our doubleheader. So if we look at the schedule since the last episode, you were with me for that Real Madrid game as we made our bow in the Champions League. We followed that up with possibly the worst result since I joined this club, a 4-0 defeat against Burnley. It was 3-0 at half time and we just looked absolutely awful. I have no idea where it came from. We did follow it up with a narrow win at home to Norwich, despite playing a lot of reserve and young players. Before a comfortable 3-1 win at home in the Premier League against Watford, Brian Barrett with a brace, the American left winger, and Mason Greenwood getting one as well. We then lost 1-0 against Schalke in the Champions League. Really disappointing this. The lads fought so hard and I thought they were going to hang on for a point, which would have been a brilliant result in our quest to get third, but unfortunately we couldn't do it, and now this Milan game's got a lot of pressure on it. We did win 2-0 in the Premier League though against Leicester. Barrett and Greenwood again the goal scorers. They've both been brilliant for us and they've had to cover almost every game on the two wings as we've not really had anyone else available. But we've got two huge games in 3 days now. The Arsenal one's going to be huge in terms of our quest to get in the top 4 again. And AC Milan, if we want any chance of getting third in this group, we've got to beat someone. We can't lose to all three teams. So there are the results. A couple of quick fire notices before we kick off. Mafluthi was unhappy with one of our team talks. After that win against Norwich where we won 1-0 in the League Cup against the League One side, we were a little bit unhappy with the way the lads played and he took exception to that and has caused a bit of a revolt since. Luckily no one else agrees with him, but we've got to keep our eye on him. Machilov already wants to leave because he's not playing first team football. He's played the odd Champions League and Cup game, but our director of football promised him to be a key player and he's certainly not getting in ahead of David Raya. The other one is the medical centre. The biggest difference between last year and this is that we're really struggling with injuries now. Lavinas has still got a month and a bit to go. We've got Iwobi on the left, he's coming back from a longer injury. But Arzani, Douglas Luiz and Valdir Ranzan, all with slight knocks, none of them can play today. So let's go and have a look at our lineup for the first one. Arsenal have made a bit of a resurgence since their relegation battle last year. They're up in 4th place, so we want to see what kind of squad they've got and how they've managed to change their form around so quickly. There's FA Cup fixtures going on as well, but we're slight favourites for this one. Rabiot and Maitland-Niles are out for them. We've had a slightly better record against this club since the start of the series, and obviously a lot of that was before we're here, but Arsenal are in really strong form, and I think this could be a tough one. So our lineup today is pretty much enforced. You can see we've got 4 players out there. Jamal Lewis has come back knackered from international duty and Billy Gilmore has to be on the bench as he's on the borderline as well. Brian Barrett was too, but we've got no other options on the left, so he has to start whether he likes it or not. The only 2 players that are fit and not in the squad are Mafluthi and Machilov, the 2 men who are causing problems in the dynamics. So let's have a look at the lineup. We've got Raya in goal, Gomez, Janderson, Konza and Matiju the back 4. Matiju's only played at left back once this season before, and that was the 4-0 defeat against Burnley, so I don't hold up too many hopes today, although that game wasn't strictly his fault. We've got Declan Rice in the holding role, covering for the injured Douglas Luiz, Rivera in the middle for the tired Gilmore, and then Greenwood, Barrett and Oliveira, the 3-men creative force, behind Florence Bernard up front, a player who's at least first choice. So let's get into the game. We'll play around with a few of the roles once we get into it, but I think this could be a long afternoon. It's a 4-4-2 for Arsenal. They've got Guendouzi and Renato Sanchez in central midfield, Benjamin Mendy and Hector Bellerin, Varane, the Real Madrid centre-half, Bernd Leno in goal as well. Plenty of big names there. I'm not quite sure why they were in a relegation battle last year. We're going to assertively tell the lads to pick up where they left off, as it was a good win in our last fixture. Let's go and change some of these roles around. Greenwood prefers to be a winger on support. We're also going to change Rivera to a central midfielder on defend, and we're going to drop Matiju back. He prefers to be on a support duty. So let's get into the first half. Fingers crossed we can do something special. I take it back, we've got a tunnel interview first. They're a good team, but we want to stop them. It won't take the lads a while to get their match sharpness back, but no other answers correct. I don't want to make the excuse of injuries already. They're keeping the ball at centre-half Arsenal from the kick-off, and hopefully this first highlight won't lead to an attack. Thankfully it doesn't, and after 5 minutes nothing's happened. Matiju with a throw-in on the left. Headed away, but it's gone back to him again. He cuts it to Oliveira. Declan Rice from the edge. Second time it's in. We haven't seen that from him before. Declan Rice with a screamer from the edge of the box. Second time of asking on the half volley. And we lead against Arsenal after 7.5 minutes. Fantastic start to the game. And hopefully the fans will get right behind us now. It's Arsenal coming forward immediately from the kickoff though. We don't know either of the front two as they were both regens I think. But Konza clears the cross away and he's headed long into the distance. He's back forward from Arsenal again though. Headed away as far as Oliveira. He can charge forward on the counter to Bernard. He's beaten two men, goes for the shot. Brilliant save by Leno with his stretching left hand over to the right hand side. 10 minutes gone, we lead 1-0 and we look really threatening on the attack. It's Leno with a goal kick for Arsenal though. Long ball out to the right hand side. Mataju's made an error. We said that he would be a bit of a problem in that position and it's proving to be the case, but Arsenal go for a snapshot from 30 yards and it's well over the bar. We've got a warning to close 1 or 2 people down. We'll process them. And now it's Mendy with Arsenal back to the keeper. Leno going with a long ball down the right. Barrett intercepts, but there's no one there. Varane to Bellerin, long ball over. Toscano beats Janderson. Wijaka's in. And what a goal that is by Wijaka. What a brilliant goal. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It looks like Wijaka, but he's equalised for Arsenal. And we've been done by a straight ball over the top. They've got a corner now with Vargas. Into the back post. Rivera heads away. They're starting to get on top now, Arsenal. They've had more chances. They've had the only clear-cut one, and now we've got a chance on the break, but will we be able to create another goal-scoring opportunity? Bernard goes all the way to the byline. Oliveira at the back post, but it's over his head, and he's had to bring it down and start again. Rivera finds Oliveira. Rivera out to Matiju. Can he find a delivery? Cuts inside to Oliveira just wide. Good effort that was. We're back with Rivera in the middle of the pitch. He finds Oliveira on the edge of the centre circle, goes all the way out to Greenwood on the right with a lovely pass. Into the middle, the keeper's flapped at it, missed it completely, but Bernard heads over the bar and it remains level. Vargas with a corner. It's an end-to-end game. Great effort from the edge from Arsenal, but luckily there was a man offside, though Raya had already saved it. We're back with Konza at centre-half, playing it out from the back quite nicely. Rivera gets the ball in the middle. He finds Oliveira, charging over halfway. Long ball in, Bernard's one-on-one. Leno hasn't come for it, but he's made a good save, and it was offside as it happened. We wondered why the keeper had stayed on his line, but he'd got away with that one. Oliveira finds Rivera. He finds Declan Rice. We couldn't have two, could we? We can't. I'd rather he did, though, because that pass was really poor. Gomez to Rice again. He finds Greenwood on the right. Cross is blocked. It's a terrible effort to get it in the box, and Gomez is back in his own half. Janderson to Rice. Rice out to Gomez. Time to bring it forward. There's plenty of options. Oliveira to Bernard. Can we find Barrett? Back to Bernard again. Now it's Rice. We've got no way to find a way through. 2 banks of 4 from Arsenal's worked, and it's a poor header in the end as the cross finds Bernard. It's nearly half time. It's been a really decent and even first half, but you can see they're a good side, and we've not quite got the same dominance that we had last year. It's level at the break. It's been a really decent half of football, but we've got a double-header to squeeze in today, and we could really do with getting a couple of goals and then being able to rest some men. But without that screamer from the edge of the box from Declan Rice, we wouldn't even be ahead. We're going to tell them we're not very pleased. I know the assistant manager disagrees with that, but we've got the lads fired up, and we want them to come out and react. It's Matiju on the left from the kickoff. He's been challenged straight away. Not had the best of games, Matiju, but according to the ratings, he's doing better than Gomez. Rivera in the middle to Matiju. He finds Oliveira, charging in behind to Greenwood, goes for a pop shot. I was about to say, what's he doing there? And Leno has to tip it wide. It really bent back in. Barrett with an in-swinging corner, straight into the arms of Leno. What an absolute waste by the American winger. I'd love to take players off for things like that, but unfortunately we don't have a sub on that side. Konza gets the ball to Matiju. In fact, we don't have any subs on either side of the pitch, so I can't even switch Greenwood over. Oliveira charging at the Arsenal midfield. That back four's so deep for them. Bernard gets it into the Varane who heads away. Rice goes again just wide. Oh, I thought he was going to do 2. We really need to rely on shots from the edge of the box, because Arsenal are defending so deep that we just can't get in behind at all. Matiju with the ball into Barrett. He gets it away and now Rivera out to Gomez. Charges into the box, beats a man. Leno with another good save. He's really made a few of them today. It's an out-swinging corner which Barrett will take. Doesn't find the keeper this time, finds Bernard. Brilliant save by Leno, then Varane hacks it away. We've got another corner now as the pressure's starting to build on Arsenal. Barrett into Bernard, is headed away. Konza down for Rivera. Janderson rattles the crossbar to centre half and now it's Arsenal coming on the break. Really good start to this half. It's been a fantastic game of football. Two good sides right up there in the league and you can tell there's a lot of quality on display. The ball goes to Bellerin on the right but the highlight ends with an hour gone and shortly we'll think about subs. Leno with a long kick downfield. They're trying to go on a counter, but it's straight through to the other keeper, Raya, who can build it again from the back. He finds Konza, out to the left back in Matiju. He doesn't, in fact, he switches to Barrett. Barrett goes right to Gomez, charging forward at the midfield, but again that 2 banks of 4 is so deep, they've really read us tactically, and we can't get in behind at all. Declan Rice finds Rivera, lovely switch to Gomez, charging into Oliveira, finds Greenwood, that's what we needed, a brilliant through ball, but Greenwood's wasted the opportunity. Rivera with a free kick's blocked by the wall, is held for a throw-in on the right-hand side, and we're going to pause to make some substitutions. Apologies as the voice showed the first sign to go in there. Greenwood's not had the best of games. I'm not sure who to bring on for him. We haven't got many options. We're going to go for Suarez. I think he's competent on the 2 wings. He can play on the right as a winger, although we're going to put him back to his preferred advanced playmaker role, just as he would play if he was in the middle. Bernard's not had the best game either. Zia's going to come on for him. The main reason is he can play as a complete forward, which may mean he drops in a little bit, which will hopefully make that Arsenal defence come out of their bank of 4 and give us a little bit of space in behind. We'll see if that works. Billy Gilmore's going to come on as well for Rivera. Back to our normal formation there with an extra playmaker in the middle of the pitch. Let's get back into it. All 3 subs made and see if we can create something now. It's a throw on the left for Matiju. He finds Oliveira. Delivers to Zia. Header just wide of the post. It's agonising. Brilliant cross from Oliveira, but we just cannot find that shot on goal. Barrett loses out on the left. And now it's Arsenal coming forward, but they've conceded possession. Oliveira to Zia. Charging forward. Oliveira's running with him. Finds Suarez. He could have been a hero, but he's put it into the side netting. And unfortunately, with 10 to go, Arsenal still survive. We've dominated this second half, but we just cannot find a breakthrough. It's Vargas with a short free kick to Reece Nelson. Good to see him still at the club. Long ball into the goal scorer. It's blocked by Anderson and Gilmore can bring it away. Charging out at the left side of the box. I say charging, it was relatively slow. Zia beats 1. Zia beats 2. He's into the box. He beats a 3rd. Oh, I thought that was going to be the best solo goal we've seen, but he puts it wide at the post after a brilliant mazy run, but unfortunately he didn't have the final touch. We've got the ball at the back with Konza. He finds Gilmore, bringing it forward. There's no pressure on him at all. Arsenal just retreating into that shape. Zia holds it up for Suarez. Suarez back to Rice. He's got a man over on the left-hand side but goes short to Gilmore. Suarez's challenge, really poor from him, and now Arsenal can break with Toscano. In towards Zica, not like this. Brilliant save, Raya. Nelson's shot's blocked. The 3rd one saved by Raya as well. Brilliant goalkeeping. Awful defending. Matiju caught out on that side there. Vargas with the corner headed away, and thankfully we finally get a breather. We've dominated the game in the second half, but unfortunately Arsenal have still had the best chance. Gilmore finds Suarez. He's been really poor since he came on. Finds Rice and now Gilmore. Oliveira from the edge. Goes for the snapshot just over the bar. And we cannot break this Arsenal side down. It's Gilmore on the left-hand side for us. He finds Konza. We're starting again in the middle of the pitch with Rice. He finds Oliveira. We just cannot break through this defensive line. Suarez goes for a ridiculous effort. And it's just onto the roof of the net. Unfortunate with that one. Leno's going to take a goal kick. His time wasting now. Arsenal are delighted with a point, which shows how far we've come since we've been here, fighting for relegation, although Arsenal did that last season. Nelson gets up on the right hand side. Konza heads away, but only as far as Renato Sanchez. Now Toscano, out to the left to Vargas. It would be absolutely devastating if we lost this game. A right kick in the teeth, but Janderson mops up well to prevent that from happening. Gomez is coming forward down the middle. He finds Rice. It's going to be game over. A brilliant game of football. Absolutely wonderful. The first half was end to end. We dominated the second, but Arsenal defended really well and we weren't able to get the breakthrough. Let's go and talk to the lads to tell them how they did. I thought it was a really decent performance, so we'll tell them it was unlucky, and unfortunately it just wasn't our day as we couldn't break down a brilliant deep defensive line. We missed the chance to win according to the media. Declan Rice scored a good goal, so we'll praise him in a minute as well as doing the press conference. It leaves us in 5th in the league, 3 points behind Arsenal, although Liverpool's game in hand and Tottenham as well could see us under a bit of pressure in the European spots. But on to the Champions League. It might be a short-lived campaign as we're bottom of the group with no points, but we'll be back in a moment for a massive game at home to Milan. Okay, we're back for the AC Milan game, a massive game in Europe for us. We've got loads of players who can't play the full game. Let me just remind you of where we stand at the moment. 0 points after 2 games. Schalke are 3rd and AC Milan 2nd, both on 3 points, so this game could be crucial for us. We won't worry about Real Madrid as they've already won all 3 games and are definitely going to win the group. So let's go and look at our lineup. Madrid have beaten Schalke as we've already seen in this group today. We're at home to Milan and edged to be slight favourites despite having 3 players unregistered and Lavinas out injured. With a couple of other players tired too, we're in a little bit of a pickle today, but we'll try our best to get through it. So we've got Machilov in goal as always for the Champions League. Gomez and Lewis are the fullbacks with Janderson and Konza in the middle. Douglas Luiz in a Segundo Volante role with Billy Gilmore back as the deep lying playmaker. Greenwood, Oliveira and Alex Iwobi making his long return from injury and Bernard up front. We've got a few other options on the bench. Iwobi can only play 45 minutes according to the physio team. So I think it's going to have to be Valdir Ranzan that comes on in the second half. Matic is slightly tired, but we've kept him on the bench nonetheless. But fingers crossed our 2 starting fullbacks do well and he won't be needed at all. So let's get into the game. We really need to win this match today. Douglas Luiz takes the captaincy in the absence of Lascelles and Raya, and fingers crossed he'll do a good job as we play against the 4-3-3 of AC Milan. Emre Can at right back, he's got to be getting on a bit now as well, so that could be a position we could exploit. They've got Romagnoli at centre half and a young wonder kid called Leclerc up front, not to be confused with Charles Leclerc, the Ferrari racing driver. He's a really good striker, 23 years of age, worth £63 million. He joined Milan in the summer and he looks absolutely world class. Let's go and talk to the lads, tell them to do it for the fans as that's what our assistant said, and get into the first half and hope we can do something special. It's Milan with the kick-off to Tonali. They find Grimaldo on the left-hand side. Now they're coming straight forward with Matan. We don't normally see much from the first highlight, but they almost got in there immediately. It's Iwobi on the left with a corner. Headed away as far as Gilmore. Bernard flicks it on, but it's straight at Joel Pereira, who manages to make the save. Grimaldo on the left-hand side. Knocked down for Leclerc. Now Grimaldo again. Iwobi at the back post defending, and Jamal Lewis keeps it in at left-back. He's coming forward, and there's no pressure on him really, so he just keeps going. He gets over halfway, beats a sliding challenge, finds Bernard. Brilliant save by Pereira to tip it over. What a wonderful bit of play from the left back. That's what we were missing against Arsenal. Iwobi with another poor corner. Gilmore gets it after it's headed away. Janderson to Gilmore and now Douglas Luiz. Can he cross from the right? He can't. It's deflected off the left back and behind for another corner. It'll be taken by Iwobi. Will he deliver a bit better this time? He does, and he's straight into the arms of Pereira, and we cannot keep wasting set pieces like that. It's a throw on the right for Gomez. He gets it into Oliveira. A really bright start from us, but again we haven't taken it, and this is what happened against Schalke, and we gradually retreated until we let in a goal. Luiz has got it in the middle. Konza gets it out to the left to Iwobi. Jamal Lewis overlapping as always. He's going to try and deliver, but he's forced backwards. Gilmore inside. He's got the option of Douglas Luiz. Goes for the shot. What a goal! 30 yards out, Douglas Luiz. He's channeling his inner Declan Rice from the last game. What a brilliant finish that was. We've seen Luiz do it before. The FA Cup semi-final, the first year we were here, he scored a screamer in that one, but this one was significantly better and gave us a lead to get our first 3 points in the Champions League. What an important goal that could be. 5 minutes to the break and we still lead, and now we've got a free kick with Gilmore. He shoots, Pereira makes the save, Leclerc the centre forward clears it away. It's out for a throw on the right and we'll be happy to see Leclerc there for the rest of the game. It's a free kick 1 minute to the break. Gilmore's shot's blocked to Iwobi. He's charging down the right to Janderson. What the centre half's still doing there I don't know. Get back son! It's Janderson on the right hand side, delivers a good ball in the end. Douglas Luiz gets it after the headed clearance. Gilmore tries to deliver but it's blocked, and now Almeida's countering. Where are you, Janderson? You better be back by now. Thankfully the highlight ends, there's no damage on our goal and we're into stoppage time with another attack. Iwobi finds Douglas Luiz, he has another go and it's blocked all the way back to Pereira the goalkeeper and Janderson can recycle it in the middle. It's another throw on the left for Lewis. It's attack after attack for Newcastle but we haven't made our chances count and with just one on the board you never know what could happen on the break. Fakin gets it out to Grimaldo on the left. He finds Matan. The cross is blocked and now Janderson clears. Gilmour bringing it forward with no pressure on him. He's charging down the right flank. Long ball into Bernard. Oh, what a way to end the half that would have been. He's missed an absolute sitter. He's in on goal. Just the keeper to beat. And he's missed the target by a mile. We lead 1-0 at the break. We've been absolutely scintillating at times. But unfortunately, with just one goal, I'm not particularly confident. Let's talk to the lads. We're going to tell them not to get complacent because we know that's the best team talk to give at 1-0. A lot of them are motivated and hopefully we can see out this game in the second half. It's Douglas Luiz to Gilmour. He finds Greenwood. We wouldn't mind an early goal. He goes out to Gomez. His cross is blocked and deflects a couple of times, but the left back's lost it to Bernard, though thankfully his cross is poor. Jamal Lewis on the left-hand side, charging into the box. What a goal that is by Jamal Lewis. That's a wonderful finish by the lad. We came back just as he picked up the ball, and what a wonderful charge at the defence it was. He beats 2 or 3 men, and then just slides it in the corner in a composed fashion. Bernard could learn a lot from that finish. We really could do with him getting back on the score sheet. A brilliant goal. We lead 2-0, and our Champions League dream is back on. 10 minutes into the half, it's Emre Can with a throw on the right. Leclerc wins it back to Can again. His cross is deflected though and Iwobi clears. We've got to remember to take him off soon. Oliveira wins a couple of headers in the middle. Now Mason Greenwood. Can we really put him to the sword and get the goal difference up? Bernard goes for the shot which is blocked and it's behind for a corner kick. Iwobi's going to take it, an out-swinging delivery. Another poor one, that's it, get off son. I've had enough of that, 4 corners have hit the keeper. I know you're only just back from injury, but you've got to know how to take a corner. Rantan's coming on for him, and we'll get back into the game, hoping that we can continue our good attacking play. It's a free kick for AC Milan. Grimaldo goes short to Leclerc, starting from really deep positions, which is strange, but Grimaldo's got the ball again. He finds Caldera on the left-hand side. Back to Almeida. He finds Caldera again. Delivery to Leclerc, that's brilliant. I mean, it's a great save by Machilov in the end, but the turn there was absolutely sensational. Brilliant bit of work, but we've managed to survive. Grimaldo with a free kick on the left. Gomez heads away at the front post, and now Oliveira can charge out with the ball. Finds Bernard down the right-hand side. There's a man at the back post, but the cross is poor and it's behind for another corner. Bernard's going to be the next man off. It's Gilmour to take it now. Can he do any better? Go short for Ranzan. His shot's blocked and it's away to Konza. Brilliant recovery there from the defender and the highlight ends with us still leading 2-0. It's finally gone quiet now, just over 15 minutes to go. We haven't seen any attacks for 15 minutes or so, and we'll make a couple of subs in a minute. Bernard's forced a brilliant save from Pereira. Great cross from the left. We're going to give Oliveira a little rest for Suarez. He's going to change into his preferred advanced playmaker role on an attacking duty, or does he prefer support? He's going to go to support, and then Greenwood on the right will go to a winger on attack, and we'll see if that causes any trouble for them. We're going to take Bernard off and give Zia the youngster 15 minutes too. He's going to stay as an advance forward this time, as that role's really caused problems with Bernard in the game. It's just been the finish that's missing. So unlike the Arsenal game, we don't want him to drop in and create space. We just want him to run in behind. 5 minutes to go. It looks like it's going to be a good performance and a good result, but we don't want to count our chickens before it's happened. Douglas Luiz has got the ball at the back. He finds Gilmour and now Greenwood. We look much more confident in possession today, and if we can get a little unbeaten run going, that would be very good for us long term, particularly in the league where we struggled a bit this year. Because we've been having defeats every 3 or 4 weeks in the European Champions League, we've ended up losing confidence and not creating as much, but that is game over. The header away by the Arsenal defender's poor, the AC Milan defender even. We're not playing Arsenal anymore. Billy Gilmour rifles it into the corner of the net, and we have wrapped up our first 3 points in the Champions League with a convincing home win against Milan. This should put us on course for a top 3 place, although we've got to go to the San Siro and do the same thing. It's a long ball forward by Milan. Konza heads away and it's back to Gilmour. We've got a chance to build from the back again with Suarez the substitute. He finds Greenwood. 2 men over on the left. One of them's Lewis the fullback. Delivers to Zia. This has become a rout now. We're making up the goal difference. Schalke lost heavily on the first day. AC Milan have got a poor goal difference now, and we're going to be going up to second place as it stands. Our first 3 points in the Champions Champions League and a wonderful performance to go with it. Well, tell the lads they were excellent. The second half they were really fantastic, and that half-time team talk about complacency really seemed to work as it usually does. Let's quickly go and see what the media said about the game and plan when we'll next be back. A dominant win, £2.5 million for winning a game, plenty of players to go and praise off camera, but to dominate AC Milan is a really good achievement for us. We'll go and look at the schedule to see when we'll next be back. We've got a few tough domestic games coming up now, but we have got to focus on the Champions League, as that's the big goal for the first half of the season. I'll judge it based on how the group's going. We're going to show one of the last two games, either Real Madrid away or Schalke at home. I imagine it will all go down to the final day, so we'll probably be back for the home game against Schalke. But if you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on it. Let me know down in the comments if you think we can nick second. I'm a bit more confident of beating AC Milan after this result, but then to be fair, they beat Schalke 4-1. It's been a very strange group because Schalke looked a good side when we play them, but you'll probably find that out in the next episode. Hopefully we won't have a European hangover like we did in the first game against Burnley. We're away to Everton again, and hopefully on the road we'll do a bit better this time. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my two long-term stories. This one, the head coach, and then our other one club series, part of the furniture with Torquay United. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support of the series, and we'll see you next time for the Champions League group stage decider.